posted on social media who has a property, a development, a project that could inspire, motivate, or educate anybody in the property world that wants to be motivated, inspired, and educated. And a lady called Megan, she reached out to me. She'd been to one of my networking education events in Leeds. I remembered her. She came down to the West Brom one and then spoke to me and said to me, Steve, when I came to your event 3 weeks later, I purchased my first property. I took action, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I'm all in because property is something that I see myself doing in the future. So come inside, let's meet her, let's talk about this property, some of the things that she faced, how she's managed it, the numbers, etc., etc. Let's be inspired. I'm here in Leicester today. I am with somebody called Megan. She's standing right over there. She came to a networking event of mine. She took action immediately. We are here, and today we're going to have a real big conversation with her about why property, taking action, what she's done. Pretty impressive, to be completely honest. But right now, take a look around at some before and afters. We are literally 4 weeks away from completion. So guys, here I am with Megan. She's invited us down to Leicester to look at this property. You've seen some before and afters. So here she is. This is her property. Thank you for inviting us down.
You're welcome.
Why property? Let the audience know, and what made you take action?
So I just think property is so exciting. I think it's such a cool industry to get involved in, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. I set up my company, which is Harrier Property Group, in September last year, and it was around the same time as coming to one of your networking events, which I came to just to get a feel for the industry, what other people were doing, get some knowledge. I think it's really important to sort of have bit of an understanding of something before you just jump in. But equally, I was so inspired. I realised, do you know what, there is no time like now to do this. Sort of looked at my situation, looked at the funds I had available, and 3 weeks later I had the keys for this. I was so excited, but I think it was one of those things where you first view the property and you think, oh, this is lovely, and you see all the nice bits. As soon as the money was in and I had the keys, I came in and realised, wow, this is a big job. But equally, I've enjoyed every second of it. I've got a real passion for it. And I just think it's absolutely wicked. I've got a new love for property.
Okay, so what do you do for a living right now?
So my background's structural engineering, and then I've also got a day job. I've got another business that sort of pays me a general salary alongside this. So this isn't my only income at the moment. It's something that I'm just looking at, investing and growing a portfolio in.
And full-time property, is that the way?
I think that is the plan, definitely. I hope so. I think that sort of organic growth rather than jumping into things that I don't know anything about. This is a BRRR project, and I feel quite comfortable with this. Maybe look at more cash flowing options in the future, but right now this has just been great. It's a great project for me, and the numbers sort of speak for themselves with it, and yeah, it's good.
Right, guys, right now, I'm going to run you through the numbers. Forgive me if I'm not correct and she corrects me, but we're looking at about a 182 purchase price.
Yeah.
Then we bought this cash.
Yeah.
And then we had some stamp duty, some legal fees and auction fees.
Yeah.
What did that come to, about 8K?
The auction fees.
All of it together,
all
stamp,
in,
auction?
Yeah, I ended up being all in just under 200,000.
Okay, so just under 200,000. And then the refurb is 40?
40 to 45
Okay.
finishing touches, but I'd say more 45.
Is it 45 because emotions have got involved, or have you completely kept to investment?
No, I think because it's my first project, there's been a few decisions that I've made thinking, oh, I really like that. That's what I would put in my house, and that's the sort of decision I would make. I think it's been hard to look at it with a business mind and think it's going to be a rental, you know, I need to put this standard in. But also there's been costs that I didn't factor in or didn't quite know how much things would be. It was a full rewire. Any electricals or plumbing I've wanted chased into the walls and things like that, like decisions that I think do add that value at the end. I've not sort of made decisions that are quick and easy. Everything's been done really thoroughly, a really proper job. It was a house that was 60s and not a lot had been upgraded since then. So it was a blank canvas. But those added costs, yeah, I think initially I thought it would maybe be a 30 to 35k refurb. 10 grand more, easy. Like these things just, the list just kept going and going. Once I got in, ripped everything out. There was no massive surprises, but I think you then can add what you want, and decisions were made where I thought I'd like a nicer quality kitchen or a nicer flooring, and I wasn't going to change the door frames, and I'm so glad I did, and you know, things like that.
Yeah, I understand, because when I first started, the first few that I did, I got emotionally attached.
Yeah.
I started doing some things that I would like, and then quickly, as soon as the money started rolling in, I started realising this has to be an investment now. I've got to get out of what I like and make sure it just works for what it needs to be.
Yeah.
So when you came in here, you stripped everything out.
Yeah.
You knew everything that needed doing, like you said, rewire, central heating, plastering. You've gone more or less full back to bricking the whole place.
Yeah.
Did you individually manage the trades, or did you get a contractor in to do it all?
So I did end up individually managing the trades, not through... So I didn't get a price from a contractor that said, I'll bring my own electrician, my own plasterer, my own this. I paid for a builder to do the knock through, and then he sort of said to me, have you got an electrician? And I got in touch with an electrician, and so I ended up project managing the whole thing myself, really.
That's impressive.
I was the point of contact for each individual trade. I've had to book them in. You know, I've never done this before, so maybe there was a period of a week where I could have had a trade in if I'd have known to ring them sooner. But I was sort of waiting for the builder to be finished, then ring my plumber, then ring the electrician. But I think that's something that comes with experience, is knowing roughly the builder's going to be this many weeks on site and then going from there. But yeah, I've not found it too difficult project managing, but I've had really, really good trades. They've all worked to an exceptional standard. And yeah, it's been good. I imagine it's not always the case.
No, so
and maybe
guys,
on a bigger project.
as you see on the daily, it's not always the case. She's not really had any problems, and people have done. I've walked around this property, and it is top class. There's no corners here cut. There's no shortcuts. You can see that clear as day. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. You know, I'm not trying to scare you.
No.
There is going to be days where you're like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
But so far, so good.
So far, so good.
We keep the positivity going. That's important. So when you had the individual trades, you spoke to me and said one of the things that you thought was pretty cool was the fact that the lockbox was outside, so people could let themselves in and out. Now, that's a real big little tip that I can give to every single person in property. The second that you get the keys to your first development or investment, put a lockbox outside, get the code ready, and then every single person that you'll get into quote, even your structural engineers, your architects, anybody that's coming into the property, you don't have to be on site.
Yeah.
And that saves so much time. It's super important. So we're on around £245,000, which is what you said.
Yeah.
What's the end value?
So anywhere between 285 and 3.
Okay.
In this area, this style of house and the finishes. Obviously, I'd like it to be the top end, but I don't want to set it too high. I've sort of done every decision where I'd be happy at like a 285 valuation, but if I can get it up to 290 to 3, that would be amazing.
What on the road? Is there anything on the road that's sold?
Not very recently.
No.
No, it's a lot of.
Okay, so 300,000 end value. If we get there, what's next?
Another one, similar vibe. I'd like to do another one with a knock through. I really enjoyed the fact that it looked like a construction site at times. I loved coming down here and seeing the chaos. You know, I don't really fancy just a 15, 20 grand tart up new kitchen. I quite like the idea of a layout change, adding value through adding a downstairs toilet or even an extension maybe, although when I priced it up for here, it was coming out ridiculously expensive to actually extend. But those sort of decisions where, I can add some value through a layout change. I think people love open plan living and often don't have the capital to do it themselves. So being a developer who can do that and add the value in that way is a real advantage. But it's just finding the properties, but definitely just start looking for the next one.
That's good.
Yeah.
And to end it,
Yeah.
you came to a networking event.
Yeah.
You spoke to a few people.
Yeah.
You took action.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to the people at home who are watching this, who are thinking of doing it, but just don't have that final pushing them to go and do it?
I think it's been the most rewarding thing that I've ever done. Seeing it, feels like it's my baby. Seeing it from when I got the keys to now has been amazing. I think seeing it finished will be even more amazing, and then also seeing the financial reward of that will be even more amazing. I think property is the best thing and the most solid thing that you can put money into. And I know not everyone's in a position to jump now, but take small decisions that lead to that. If that's your passion and that's your goal, then it's just amazing. It's so fun. I've enjoyed, every minute of it. What advice? Yeah, that's it really. Just go for it. Go for it, and don't be scared. It's just a house. When you strip it back, it can be overwhelming when you see these crazy curtains and flooring, but once you strip it back, whether it's back to brick or back to this, it quickly changes the feel of it, and you start seeing it come together. It's just the best feeling.
There you go. Guys, if you're thinking of getting into property, take that leap of faith and start now, if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, there's other ways to get into the property world, which you see on all different people's channels, my channels, other channels, but take action, do something, take that leap of faith, and you never know where it can lead to. So there you have it, another one. She was one of the most confident people we have ever had on our channel. Hopefully she inspired you. She definitely gave a lot of education. It was really cool to see where it's at. I'm coming back in the next 4 to 6 weeks to see it completely finished. But guys, the moral of today's video, take action. Moral of today's video, be inspired, take action. Surround yourself with people like me who actually do property. I am a real active property developer, and I am here to motivate, inspire, and educate you. So thank you to Megan for inviting us down. I'll be back. You know what, guys? If any of you out there have some kind of story or a project or a development, comment below, let us know, and we'll come to you and we will see if you can do what she did.